Hey, welcome back to another episode. It's Dresdale, our PS4 build. It's been fun so far, and I was just looking at some of these buildings, and they're not too bad. Some of these, like I said in the probably last episode, I feel like are a little too big for this area. So maybe off camera I'll delete some of them and watch them kind of come back up and pay a little bit more attention to them. Because we'll probably do a lot of stuff today, and today's Saturday, so we'll be able to maybe record quite a few videos. So some of this might kind of get out of hand, and we'll get neglectful of it, and then like this building here will become like this huge building over here, and I'll be like, oops. But I think in one of the videos I was kind of talking about how you can kind of build like almost like little modular like looking buildings out of several buildings. So this is kind of like a good example how like these buildings like look like they like belong together, and like you can kind of like imagine driving in here and this would be like the parking lot, the main parking lot, and you have like the main building and then like maybe two like side apartment buildings all like within like a apartment complex. That's kind of like the look I'm going for sometimes when I'm doing this like smaller zoning, where you get like a couple of these buildings together and they all like the yards kind of start lining up. It starts looking very similar, and like I said, it looks like they're meant to be kind of with each other. This one here looks like you might be good. Or university is renowned. What's that? I think that's the third level. So we're making $10 a student. Alright, that's not too bad. We haven't zone or added any more attractiveness, so I expect that. So I'm going to go ahead and make him historical. We'll keep him going because I kind of want him to look like that building, and I might destroy that one. So maybe I get this building instead, so it looks all three are the same. I don't know. I probably could have made this one like the middle one, and like these two on the outside. So it looks like a nice kind of like big like courtyard almost in the middle. And like I said before, the way you can tell if things are historical or not is just get out to the bulldozer tool, and the ones that look like you can blow them up, like these ones here, they're not historical. They'll go bye-bye when you hit square. And like, see how these ones here aren't lighting up? That means it'll like ask you like, do you really want to blow up your historical buildings? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And then you can say, because I'm waiting for these to get to level 2, because like at level 2 they start getting like the green roof, and at that point they'll be good. But I'm a little nervous because now we're going to start building and neglecting this. So like I said, maybe it'll be like a monster building, and I'm like, oh darn, I gotta start all over. But hey, whatever, I got time. You can play this game for years on the same city, doesn't matter. Alright, landfill's empty. That's always good. And we're close to here, I think. 570, so it probably won't be that much longer until that's empty. Then we can empty out this landfill. And then maybe start this other landfill over here. So let's just run through. See, yep. I knew we didn't see this. I need more resource because we're not producing enough raw fish. But I believe we're getting close to the requirement for the next building. Let's take a look at that real quick. Come here, fish. Come here, fishy. Yeah, we're at 1.7 out of 2. And I think the last time we checked we were like 1.3, so it was maybe like an hour ago, so probably like another hour of real time, me jibber jabbering and yammering on about nonsense stuff, and we'll be at the next level of fishery. And at that point we'll get the shellfish, and then we'll destroy this one and then do our shellfish. So I think we got shellfish out here, right? Yep, right in here. We'll do shellfish, and then because these buildings produce more, I believe. It says in the tooltip here somewhere, dedicated to catching and processing anchovies. Specialized fishing boats have a high catch rate, so they catch a lot of fish and capacity, as long as they're on there for sure. You'll see it if you click on one and kind of watch it go through. It'll tick up pretty quick, as it's filling up, and then once it gets out of like its area, it'll take forever to like get like 1%. That's it. So I think it's higher capacity. Oh, it tells you on there. Sorry. Where is it? Oh no, it doesn't tell you on here. Like the Industries DLC, I thought it told you like how many units. I guess you just assume it's higher. Specialized boats have high catch rate and capacity. So it does say capacity, and they are bigger boats. We need a bigger boat. It's from Jaws. For those young folks that maybe never even saw Jaws, it came out like in the 80s probably. And I could forget that it's like 2021 now. Wow, 21. Okay. All right. So what I wanted to do for this episode is trams. So trams. This I think episode's gonna be all about trams. So we got to figure out where we're going to put our tram station, and then we got to fix this route, and fix this route, and maybe even create a route for this to get to here, here to here. We want something to go to here, something to go to here. We have our park, so people might be going, why aren't you going to your commercial from here to here? Why don't you go to commercial here? And maybe we can do something here to here, and that'll help with the bridge. But we have the bridge. So, you know, maybe we'll keep the bridge, or maybe we'll do a tram route instead, and then the bridge won't be necessary, and we can get rid of the bridge because it might be a little bit of an eyesore, or you might be like, yeah, it's not bad, it's pretty cool, put some trees around it, like a rock here, a couple offices, kind of hide it a little bit, that'd look nice. I hate this building. Whoa, see, don't blow up your city. I hate you, building, you must go, you must die. Alright, so I think I had this. Yep, no, that's the one building and this building here. Alright. So I want you to be historical, because I don't want you to get any bigger, because they like changed drastically, these ones. I think it was this one. And we'll just check these ones. This like kind of goes together, right? Because it's like they're like both almost like red. Like this is like a reddish pink, so it's like a little bit to the pink side, and this one's kind of like a little bit deeper red. And it's a shame they don't build like a nice little out a little bit more. So like see how like that last two tiles is like not really filled in. It's just it's highlighted. It's there, but it's not like it doesn't give us like you know, a little parking lot or something. If it did, that would be lined up with that, man. That would look really cool. Cause you'd have like these two buildings here, and the parking lots would like all line up nice, and they can. So you could draw like a fence around them. But I don't know if you can plant trees in here. You might be able to, because it's nothing actually there, even though it's highlighted. Let's see. No, see, maybe you got to go out here. We could do like a little fence around it. You know, put like a tree here, you know, here. Then it kind of looks like it all ties it together. Maybe we'll do that real quick just to see what it looks like. Now we gotta get off the snapping. And our heights. Which fence is this? A forestry fence, like the picket fence. And this is like a wood stockade fence. Just do that. Let's see what it looks like. If I do something like that. And then all this like picket commentary in the area, like these like tall like dome-shaped trees. Let's this guy here. Maybe do something like there and there. So like I said, it's a shame we can't put like a tree here. Then he's got a couple like those little guys. So maybe we'll do like a couple of those. This here. Let's do like something like boom, 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 and then maybe like in between them we'll do like something colorful. Like, yeah, that's a little big, but it's okay. This guy's probably here. Or maybe this one. Actually, that'll work. So you get the picture. And it kind of looks like, yeah, these buildings kind of belong together, right? You can draw like another fence out to here. Draw a fence there. Do a different fence. You know, these guys like chain link fence, so then give them like the park fence. We give them this fence here. Because they got like a chain link fence, because for whatever reason. I'm bringing it down in here. And then you can do the same thing, right? This one would look real nice, because like they actually have trees. So you can make it actually look halfway decent. And give them like this one fence, I don't know, whatever. You pick the fence you like. Whatever fence you like. You know, like that. This is just like that. And so, alright. I just woke up, by the way. It's about 2:30 in the morning. Very excited to hang out with you guys, so I woke up early again. But I felt like I slept pretty good. I went to bed at like 9:30, so it's not terrible. There you go, you got your fence. And then you can, once again, you can blend it in, or you can hide it a little bit. Sometimes it's nice to hide things, because then they can kind of see it, but then you kind of can't. And then these trees here out here, so maybe just do like one there. And maybe like one there, right? It's like kind of hidden, but you can see it. And then if you want to do like a little bit of undergrowth or something, like some small stuff that can fit under here, maybe like a bush like this or something. And they get them little like real small trees like these guys. Just throw like maybe like one like here, or like we can't put plant here because that's probably his yard. He doesn't want trees in his yard. So maybe these guys went there. We get a small one. Might work out okay. And something like that. And maybe you can, maybe that tree's too big. You can delete it. Put a different one there if you want. This is supposed to be about trams, and we're planting trees. So maybe this episode and the next episode will be about trams. But this wanted to get you some ideas for those who maybe it's like newer players who play this game and they're just like, oh, I'm just zoning everything, and you know, my city looks okay, but your city looks a little bit better. And they're like, what are you doing? Like, well, you just build things. Like put trees, put rocks, things, stuff. Take the time. It took us what? Less than 5 minutes, and we framed out, you know, like 3 yards with some trees. Where'd it go? Right, it looks a little bit better. And we did different fencing. They got the chain link fence, or you know, the iron fence, and these guys got the stockade fence, and these guys got, you know, the like the picket, not the picket fence, you know, like the farm fence. You see a lot of, I forget what the heck that's called. I should know. And then, like I said, you could do this one. Boom. You could do something like around these ones. You can delete this building. You know, you just do all kinds of stuff. And that's one thing too with these curved roads. They leave a lot of gaps. Just one thing kind of like nice about the curved roads is they don't make really good tiles, but they make a lot of gaps, especially like on this side, right? Because it's like opening up. So then you can fit fences and stuff and trees in there without even having to worry about like not zoning a certain spot. Or you just like leave like one level, one lane level, or one row of, you know, blocks not zoned, and then that leaves you the room to like put in your fences and trees and stuff. I can only look at that one more time and take it in. I lost it already. And then we'll do that and it looks cool and we'll forget about it and never look at it again. But it's there. It's there, we know we did it. And it looks alright. You know? I just wish those buildings were blue. Like that like aqua blue. And that would be pretty ballin'. But I think they all come in like that color. Because I put a bunch of them over here. And they're all that color. So I'm kind of assuming that's the way it is. Oh, see? Oh, above your city. We did not, I didn't want that there. I didn't like that. I didn't, for whatever reason, I didn't historicalize that. I missed it. I was talking about trams, buses, who knows what. I want to see if it can come up real quick, because it's the first level. Come on. Move in. No, it's not going to move in. And we're going to get messed up over here. And this is what I was doing for like 2 hours yesterday. You know, you guys didn't see that. Like doing this, blowing things up, going back, going, move in, people, come on. I got all day. And then they wouldn't move in like this. Maybe that's what happened. I zoned it. It took them forever to move in. Then they moved in. We got talking about some things. And then they grew to that white one. White tall one. I didn't want that anything that tall. So I just wanted like that look of some kind of like compactness. Bigger house, bigger, you know, building, but yet not like really tall. And then we just got a couple bigger ones here. Where did the one that I blew up? This is it. Okay, we gotta make sure we fix that, or else we'll keep getting that long when it looks like a chimney. I don't want a smokestack building. I just don't like that design. I mean, it's okay sometimes, but not in this area. Alright, trams. So, where are we gonna put a tram station? I'd like to put it somewhere in here. For now, we can always move it later. And then we gotta get tram in here. So how are we gonna get a tram there? Without short-circuiting our park, because they can walk on a path. So maybe we'll put the tram station here. A little tram bridge. Come in this road. That's part of our bike path lane. Because it's trying to get people to here. That's what that bike path is supposed to do. No one's really using it, so maybe we'll use that. Or maybe we'll come in right the back here. Come down like that. Or we go tram in down here. And then we just tram road. See, I didn't line these roads up that well. We could tram down here, tram down here. See, we're not gonna put tram on here, so I don't really want to make these roads tram lines. Just to get the tram down. I mean, you can, sometimes you have to. This is the way you build it. But it'll be easy to make this tram. Oh, what we're gonna do is we were gonna go in between, right? Like that. This was a little complicated to kind of figure out. Either we had to destroy these buildings and build like a little tram loop here for us to turn around, or we'll come out and have like a tram turn around in here. But we don't want to like touch this, because then they can just go on a tram track around our gate and not pay, and then go here, you know, if we like make it connected somehow. So we just got to be careful we don't get too close here. So I don't want them walking from here to the tram line, to the tram stop, and like not going to the gate. But you can see we got a problem, right? You don't want this many people at the bus stop, but you see that bus left, this bus came, so it's like almost like perfect timing. And this guy's on his way. And one, you know, 2 or 3 more buses we would probably need to like meet this demand, and then we're gonna start queuing, right? Because they're like right, pretty much almost on top of each other. It's like almost perfect timing, and adding any more buses really. It's a long route, so we may be able to squeeze a couple buses on there. Oh, good, it's emptied. But it's gonna be close, and once again we got like quite a bit of buses on this line. So our traffic's like 93, which I mean it's good. 14 buses, okay, and then we have 250 people still here. So we need something. We got to do something different. We don't need to have 20 buses on this line. And I don't need 20 vehicles going up and down the street, right? Because then we also gonna have, you know, we're gonna put some stuff here eventually. We'll probably put a hub here eventually, because it's a pretty good sized commercial area. It has some high density in here. We could put a monorail in here that connects to our other hub. So maybe we build a hub farther down, and then we run the monorail line here, because it's like not super dense, not super big, or it needs a train. So a monorail line would probably serve well, and then you can see like, you know, how well a monorail works. Because I see a lot of times on the forums, my monorails never carry people. And it's like, I don't know what you're doing, bro. I don't want to say it's not that hard, but got monorails all over, moving hundreds and hundreds of people a week, and maybe even 1,000 people a week. And it's just like train. You just kind of build it like train and metro. It's like in between. So it's got, I don't know. I guess maybe it is a little bit, can be a little bit complicated. And usually I don't use the monorail road station. I use the monorail and just build a nice little we'll put a couple little park or something in front of it, make it look real nice. Kind of build like a block for just our station. Drown out some of the noise. Once again, monorail's nice because you can run like the track through here, and then you might just destroy a few buildings on the, you know, these in between buildings, but who cares? Then you don't have to mess up your roads. And then if you want to have, you know, bike lane roads next to it, you can. And maybe people use sometimes they use it because the people are still using this, right? Even though buses are on here, because they might, like I said, they might be biking in between stops. They just might like biking because we do have the encouraged biking policy. So they're kind of like really bike enthusiasts. They got that, you know, $5,000 however money it is now these days, you know, carbon fiber, ultra awesome, you know, 21 speed bikes. And so you see they actually like almost ran into each other. So we just shut up and start building some tram and get tram going and stop worrying about these buildings over here, even though it's on my mind. you know, constantly. It's constant. He's good. I'll just rebuild that later off camera. I'll have time today. It's Saturday. I gotta take my Christmas tree down. Everybody still have the Christmas tree up? I mean, if you celebrate Christmas. I think we got it up a little late this year, maybe like 2 weeks before Christmas. Well, we have an artificial tree, so it takes like literally an hour to put up. You know, put it together, it takes like 10 minutes, and then you gotta, you know, put the ornaments on there, and it comes with lights. So it's easy, convenient. I like it. I mean, I know some people like the natural thing, but nah, it's not for me. So it'd be easy. It'd take probably like an hour, maybe 2, to take it down, put all the ornaments away, and store them up in the attic. You know, and you're like, well, I didn't sign up to listen to you about talking about Christmas trees. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just don't like this building. Can you not build something else? Like, what are we doing here? Or is this? Are we like? Is it because we're like a 3x4, and it's like the only 3x4 you know? So maybe if we do a 2x2 and something else, you'll be happy. Let's try that. Just make you like something like here. We'll do this guy. What if I do a 2x4? What will that get me? Will that make you happy? Can we get like this building with like a little parking lot? How about that? Let's try that. And then we can just do like a little like shop next to it. Maybe we can pair them up. I don't know. I'm tired of looking at that building. Alright, tram. So I'm trying to think where I want to put trams. So tram's nice. Let's talk about trams. So maybe what I'll do is I'll stop talking for a second. And now this is all about trams. Well, that way if we'll do that again. That way if I want to splice this piece out, make it a standalone, this will be easy to do. Well, let's talk about trams today. Now, as far as trams, you got just a few assets. You get your tram hub, or tram depot. And you only need one, just like the bus. And it's nice to have it kind of centralized if you can. If not, it just means when you add a tram line far out in the deep recesses of your city, it'll just take a while for them to get there. You'll have to build a road to get them to get there. But I've done the math, and almost every time it's more cost effective to build the tram. It's a tram line. So this road's here, than it is to plop down another depot, because you know these are 48 cents a week, and this is like 768, but you know, about 770 a week. And in a way you could kind of calculate that if you want to try it for yourself and go, I don't know, is you can look at, okay, if it's 48 cents a week, week per cell, excuse me, you don't care. Like I say, once you put it down, it's going to be there. Who cares about the initial cost? I don't even know. Well, I mean, they have to have initial cost, but it's like, well, I don't even know how to list it. Who cares? But what you do is, that's a unit, right? So it's 48 cells, 48 cents a cell, and you know it's $65 a cell. So what you do is you just draw the line and how much it costs, you know. So if you said we're going to build the line here, it's like 16 grand, right? And you take 16 grand, divide that by 60, right? Let's see, 65, and that will give you the number of cells, because it's $65 a cell and it's 16 grand. And then you can multiply that by 48 cents, and if you want to make it like a little bit higher, because you know there's going to be some elevation or something, because like the elevated stuff, and I have the numbers down here, that's usually not like the whole entire length. It might be, you know, if you have to go across the water, it might be a decent amount of length. So if you wanted to really get into it and calculate it, you could, you know, just draw the bridge. You call me up, or you send me a message, like, or you do it yourself and figure out like I have it on my cell phone here, what the cost is for like a bridge. You can kind of say, okay, well, here's the bridge. This is how much it's going to cost, and add that. So you got to like add, you know, do that section by itself, because it's got a different multiplier, right? So then you add up your costs and say, okay, well, if it comes to find out that, hey, it's only like $400 a week for like a tram line that crosses the whole entire freaking city, you know, 6 tiles. So that's that's half price than putting a depot in, you know. Or you can just say, I'm making 50 grand a week. I don't give a crap. I'm just gonna put a second one down and just do that too. You know, you don't have to be. I'm just, like I said, I'm an engineer by trade here, so sometimes I get a little into the cost analysis type stuff, and I'm like, this isn't efficient. We can't put a second tram station in. Just run the line. And we'll just wait. But the downside too of that is if you put the tram in a station here and rebuild, I don't know, 2 tiles out that way, it's going to take like 2 weeks for the tram to get to a stop, and then those people are going to pile up. So it's good first to run the buses, and I'll show you this, and we'll talk about it when we kind of do one for an example. But first, you know, we'll run buses and just to see lines. Buses are good for testing, to see if like the line's going to be worthwhile before you start tearing up the roads and, you know, winding things all over the place. Unless you know for a fact, like it's high density commercial, the buses aren't going to survive, then, you know, you can kind of lay out like a monorail or metro ahead of time. It's fine. But some of the high density residential stuff, you might just be like, let's put like a bus route here and see how it looks, and then let it go. Put like, you know, 8 buses on it, 10 buses, whatever, and then you see it starting to kind of, you know, get pretty busy like we got here, and you say, well, that's good for tram, and I like tram. So, and I have so tram comes with snowfall, that and snowy maps and snowplows and a couple other things. That's like, so trams are cool. I don't know, I just have an affinity for trams. Is that the right word? So then you build your tram line. You convert the roads where the buses are running, or, you know, you mimic it. You know, if you want to go in between, you kind of like mimic the line somewhat as much as you can, or you just know that you have the demand in that area, and as long as it's kind of close, you'll have a pretty similar demand. And then don't delete the bus line, so keep that running until your trams show up. And then some people will be on the bus line, some people will be waiting at the tram stop, and you say, well, you're going to be waiting a while because my tram depot's 300 miles away, and it takes them, you know, drive that fast. It's going to take them about 3 weeks to get here. So, you know, hopefully you packed a lunch. We'll put a little bathroom next door so you can use the restroom, and we'll provide you with one of these little park things, little park food stands, and you guys can wait 3 weeks for the tram. And then when the tram shows up, it does like everything else. It all show up at the first stop you create, and then they all wait, and as they kind of spread out, right? Because you don't want to have like 3 trams on your line, like one, like they're like going down in the Congo line. You know, this isn't like the army driving down the street. These are like our transportation. We want them spread out to be efficient, and so, you know, it takes time. The short end of the story is it takes time. People pile up, but you don't want to delete the bus line, because then people will pile up a lot, because like the trams is the only source of transportation. But then you're like, oh, come on, tram, you know, and you'll be like driving around, following it, looking at it. It's taking forever, and now it's like a lot of people, because like the buses are gone, because you deleted them. They're driving back to the depot. So to keep the buses running, at least they can kind of like help keep the volume down. That way when your trains show up and they're like ready to go, and they've kind of like caught up to demand, you can kind of see, okay, I need to add like maybe 2 more, because it's, you know, whatever, you can kind of get a feel for it, and then let them kind of come along. And then, you know, maybe they're doing it not full, and then you say, okay, bye buses, you delete the line, and then all of a sudden they fill up, and you let it run for another few minutes and kind of see if like the numbers are going down, how fast they're coming up and down, and you can kind of eyeball it and say, okay, this looks like I might need like 2 more trams. Maybe this is good. I'll go put some fences around some buildings, because this guy in Dresdale said this looks cool, so I'll do a cool thing like that. And then you come back and you say, okay, let's go ahead and add more, subtract some, and then you fine tune it. Okay, so that's a good way to kind of like. So that was a long tangent on the whole going over the tram depot. But that's the kind of things you got to think about when you're building these things and where they're going to be. And the scenario is, like I said, when they're far away and take a while. So, and I think we're building down, right? Because like up is going to be we're going to do some terraforming, so some severe terraforming, we'll say, because our industry is going to be flat, and they have the money to flatten the land before they build it, because it's industry and they have a lot of capital. So we're going to put that up there, Now we're either going to build out this way, which looks okay. And we're definitely going to build it on those two tiles, or we're going to build there and there and there. And we see, and then you could build out that way. I think I might have mentioned this last time. I think I've said before this map in the beginning, maybe the first episode, this map isn't good for hydro dam. And I think and should be corrected here, if I didn't already. It's not good in this section. But if you built in that direction, it is actually really good. You could probably say, see how high the terrain is compared to the water? Like there, and like right there. In the center, I'm trying to center the screen, where like the waterfall is. And there, so if you could do some terraforming, you could probably join those rivers together and put a dam across there. Or maybe even like back that way. Kind of like where the origin of this waterway is. It's hard, I don't have the cursor, but I hope you kind of get the picture. Like there's a lot of height back there with water. And then the dam might actually work out pretty good, but the only problem is that then you're spending all your tiles going that way. And maybe 10 years from now we do this map and we go that way instead of down in here. Maybe we go these tiles here, we don't do, maybe there's enough resource back there. Let's look at the resource map, see? We got the ability to do so. I see it's hard because like the camera angles, you can't like see like that far back. I see some farming, some ore, but it's like all on top of each other. It's rough terrain. It's not real flat, so it would be tough. Yeah, it's just like a mountainy back that way. But maybe you could just do like one or two of the DLCs, Industries DLC, so maybe you could do like, or just do small. You know, you have oil, I see, so you can make forestry, so you don't really need to worry about that, but you have some fertile land and a little bit of ore, like kind of like in the middle, so maybe you could do something back there. And then maybe make industry on this tile here when you went back. Or make this your farming, your forestry area. Did like ore and oil like kind of together. Maybe flatten that mountain down a little bit, make that your industry. It's kind of all kind of close near a highway. Yeah, I'd have to bring a highway back there. So it'd be some work, but you could do it. I'm actually kind of inspiring myself to do it because it looks like it's pretty challenging. Oh, so how do we get from trams to terraforming a mountain? That's the life of Dresdale. Very like all over the place. That's the life of this game. You can just always do something. Alright, so where are we going to put this guy? Alright, so how are we going to get him in here? And in, like I said, in here. Such that we don't make a walking path that short circuits our park. And we go from 50,000 a week to 12,000 a week. Or whatever we're making on that. So maybe we come in here. So maybe we just run a tram line. Maybe we come out here, run the tram line like down here. We hit the highway, follow the highway. We'll just end it here because maybe that's when we'll go into like that part of town. We'll just use this. We'll build a bridge next to this. We'll have maybe get rid of that generating station or relocate it. We'll have solar by then. So, well, we have solar now. What's the question? Oh man. If we have solar now, we're getting rid of our power plants and going for solar. Nope. It's probably the next milestone though. So next milestone, we'll have solar, and then we'll get rid of all the power plants probably, and just go solar because it's like $6 a megawatt. I forget the number, but it's pretty low. And we have that so no dynamic weather or night on, so it's always sunny, so it's good. And then maybe we can come in here. We'll kind of curve it in here. Bye house. Sorry, you were probably level 5. Nope, you're level 4. That's what we do, so who cares? You guys are not good enough for me. Level 5 is the only thing I respect. No, I'm just kidding. So we'll bring it in like here. And then we'll like go in here. Down like this. So I think that'll be alright. Like I said, we'll do like a V-shaped kind of connection. No. Do we need to do that? No, we don't need to do that. Because it's not like a train, so you're not like we're not going to send our tram across here to here. It will not survive that. That's like using a tram for a train function, and it's like nowhere near the capacity, so we wouldn't do that. Or you could, if the city was all light residential, maybe you could probably do that. And maybe if you had 2 tram lines, like you ran one out here and out here. That way one could serve this area, one could serve this area, maybe another one or two that served here. But like if you were to like put a tram line, like say from in here to go out here to like say your high density commercial or something that's on this tile, everybody's going to go on the tram line. That's the coolest thing. I mean, you have the highway, so maybe they might not take it because the highway's faster than the tram line, but the trains are faster than the highway. I think trains are faster, the fastest mode, or is it monorail on a straight run? You guys can tell me in the comments below. I think it's one or the other. I think they're both faster than highway. So that's why you can put like your train line on the like right along the highway, and they won't prefer to take the highway. Plus, they have to go through like all this residential to get to the highway. Whereas like if they just get on the train station, it's closer. So you know it's kind of like shorter and faster. But like tram, it might not be. It might be shorter, like I said, because you know you walk to the tram stop here instead of getting on your car, driving to the roundabout, and going out. So then you might want to go here. And you actually might see people walking on the tram bridge, because you can walk on a tram line, which is why we're not trying to put it like here, because I don't want them to walk from here to here, because I got a walking path from here to here, and it charges them $25 to do it. That's what I want, because it's making me some money, and it looks pretty. Tram lines don't look necessarily pretty, and they don't make you money. So yeah, so we'll come in through here, we'll do like a little bridge over here, so that means maybe we'll put the tram here, and we'll put it just facing out this way, or we'll face it like against this way so it turns right out here, goes here, it's here. Like I said, maybe we'll just end the line right here, and then later we'll build a bridge just to get the trams into, we won't do, like I said, our route that goes from there to there. We'll just build a bridge so we can put trams into whatever part of, you know, maybe our high density residential that's going to be over there. If that makes sense. See, I'm already planning ahead like 20 steps, because that's kind of how this game is. You always like thinking, what are we going to do like 10 years from now? Oh, we're going to put the trams here. So we got to get the trams across the water, you know. Oh yeah, it's true, we do. Alright, so, and then that kind of, like I said, determines where your station is going to go. So then instead of putting it over here, I'll put it over here. And then maybe I convert these to tram line, roads with tram. Or maybe I'd bring it out the back and just put a tram line along the hill, right behind our forestry, little bridge, and then it comes in here and surfaces this area. Or maybe we do tram from here to here. We put it on this road, make this a 4-lane, come through here, or maybe we do it, maybe we come through this little gap, you know, and then tuck it into the here and connect it here, and just do like a tram only track that goes through here. Although I can see the yards are in the way, but maybe we just destroy them, rebuild them, rezone them to like a 2x2 instead of a 2x4. Bring a tram bridge across. Then that way we'd get rid of this, because like I said, people can walk on that. We can connect it with a path so that people can walk along the tram track and then bring the tram in. Or maybe they take the tram because they want to take the tram. And then that, you know, maybe it does like a loop like this, and then we have like a stop here, and you know, a stop down in the, like by the campus here, or just an intersecting stop on here. So it's just like a quick express tram, maybe like just like 2 or 3. Holds like 90 people, and it'll move all these people across the street, you know, on a bridge. So you can do that. You can do a tunnel, you know, because tram can go underground. But then you can't do metro, because then, I mean, you can, you just got to make sure you get your heights right underground. So, you know, just so you know, you can go deep underground too, right? Some people don't realize that. You know, you click down, that's 1, 2, 3. So you can build on like level 1, or -1 we'll say, and then like -5, 4 can go underneath. This is like kind of like the roads, like where you need like 3 clicks, right? And you were like, me, I thought we were going to build some trams, and you're talking about roads now. Sorry. So like 2 is not enough. And 3 is good, right? So then if you go down underground, you like draw like a road here, then like if you draw like another track here, you probably got to go like 3 down more, so like -4. Then you can do like the segment, kind of like that crosses, and then like snap that, and then you can like, you know, start going back up. So it's like, you know, like you would here, right? You draw like a segment, and then the next one would be like your ramp down. So you do that down underground, and it's like your ramp kind of back up. All right. And you just gotta be careful. Because sometimes it doesn't snap. But it looks like it's connected and it's not. And you're like, no one's taking my train or my underground metro or whatever it is. And you're like, I don't know what's going on. It's just, it didn't snap. You gotta like look at the side and you'll look down underneath and you'll see like a road at level 1. And then you'll see the other ones like at level 4. But like, where they're like above each other. But like when you look at it from here, they look like they're connected because you're looking at them on this plane. But you're not looking at them like on the side. And you're like, oh wow, there's a big gap there. Well, I messed that up. I kind of speak from experience, so doing that once or twice. You're like scratching your head, like, and you'll notice it. Well, you won't say, "Oh, no one's taking my metro" or whatever, because it won't get that far because it won't make the route. You'll go from one station, and the line won't come to the next, and you'll be like, "Oh, what's going on? Like, why isn't it like giving me the route line?" And it's because it's not connected somehow. Especially if you do like metro or even train and you have like a line, and then sometimes you make like a branch off of that line, you know, and it looks connected, but like inside the tunnel the tracks aren't connected. And I'll kind of go over that when you do train, because you can see it when you do train. Sometimes when you make nodes to connect the train, the track itself does not, like the road connects the train road, but the train track itself is just like a gap, and it has to do with maybe it just didn't snap right, the angle's not quite right or whatever, and you won't have any trains on your line. You'll be like, I don't know, and you're like, you gotta like actually like inspect the line and make sure the track itself is continuous and making connections, because you can like look from above and it'll be connected. So that can be a problem too. Once again, on passenger rail you'll notice, because then it won't create the route line, but on cargo you won't notice because there's no route lines, because cargo just does whatever cargo does. So this is like a whole rant about track, but we got tunnels, and it involves tunnels, and we'll probably talk about it again when we actually start laying some stuff. So we can't lay it this way because it's too big, so that kind of negates that. So we could put it here, but I don't think I want it here. I think I want it facing out, so maybe we'll do another road. We need more roads. I think I have all the snapping turned off for whatever reason. I didn't see any before. Alright, I'll do like a road here. I don't really care what it does. I can just go out to the end here. And we won't connect it, because it doesn't matter right now. It might matter later, but not right now. And then we can build it right here. We can leave a little gap or two if you want to put some trees around it. And, you know, a fence or something, make it kind of look pretty. Give a little space. We'll put it there for now. So now we have tram. And then we'll do, so we'll do like up here, we'll do a bridge, snake it, and then bring it down, snake it. And maybe we'll manipulate the terrain, because it's cheaper to I mean, it's like real life, right? It's cheaper to manipulate the terrain. Like when they build bridges and stuff like that and overpasses, usually it's not like the road goes to like an elevated road with like pillars and stuff, right? It's to like this, and then like the road the highway's underneath the road that's crossing, or vice versa. Usually they terraform the land, because it's easier to hire a construction person to get a bulldozer and just push the land into like a land ramp. You know, they don't do this. They up from here to here, they make a land ramp, because once you make the land ramp, you're done, because the land is the land, and it's easy to move it one time and form it to what you want, and then you're done, and you put some rocks and some soil on it and some grass and trees, and then, you know, for erosion purposes, and you're good. You don't have to go under here and maintain the underside of the bridge, because the road's like on the ground. You just got to maintain the surface, and there's all these pillars and stuff to maintain, right? So it's a lot cheaper to terraform the land and make it like a sloped land, and then have like a little bridge, than it is to like build a ramp, you know, this kind of ramp. I mean, I don't say it's a lot cheaper, but it makes sense that it's cheaper, I should say. So maybe we will do that. Oh wow, that went fast. It was like 50 minutes of rambling on, but I think I had like a lot of good information. So hopefully you appreciate that. We got our tram in. That's pretty much all we did. We talked about different transit, and then we'll go ahead and actually build it, and then we'll run it, and as the trams come out, and they'll interfere with our buses, because this one will. The other one won't, because it's not on the road. And then maybe once the trams kind of start moving, we'll just delete the bus line. Because this bus is moving a lot of people. It's like way too many people for a bus. Should be moving 550 people on a bus. That's a little ridiculous. Same here. Shouldn't really be moving. The buses are designed to move like 150 people a week. 200 maybe. Not that many. Like this route's pretty good. This route's pretty good. No, well, we'll see. It's going to move more people. Probably needs 6 buses. And then this route's probably backed up too. Oh yeah. Because we did all that high density. These routes are over here. So we did all that high density. So we need probably like 8. So once again, we'll do tram here too, since we're breaking out the tram depot, and then we won't do any buses, or we'll do some cross buses or something that brings people to the tram, especially like in this area, because we got this route here. So maybe we'll grab some people from here to here, like a bus route that goes up and down here, and maybe snakes down into here. Give these people some, service coverage. And then once again, maybe we'll do something that like kind of crosses like a square here. This is going to be a short little route that maybe drops people off like at the corner here. They can walk to that stop. We can see if it works. Or maybe, it stops here, and then people can walk down the park and hit like the tram stop here. That's what we'll do. They can kind of do the shortcut through here, and we'll actually see a bunch of people running through here. We'll pick them up kind of like from around these blocks. And then they can bike too. So I don't even think really that many people using the bike lane. I keep saying that, and every time I do, there's people on here with a bike. So I guess I ought to stop saying that, huh? Well, it's been fun. I know we didn't feel like we accomplished a lot, but that city skyline, sometimes you set out to do something else happens. And of course, when I'm trying to explain kind of these different things, hopefully it's helpful. It's giving you an understanding, of how the transportation works, how to set things up, plan for the future. Take care, and I'll have a great day, and I'll see you in the next episode.